Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cynthia. I feel long overdue to do a reading for us, just a general collective reading for the small group of, or not small, but the small but mighty group of people that follow me here. So I wanted to do another Gift of the Magi layout because it's that time of year. And I don't know if the people watching this know the short story, The Gift of the Magi. It's like a novella or a short story, and it was written, I think, maybe in the early turn of the century, like somewhere around 1910 or 20 maybe. I don't remember now. I used to have a copy of it, but I first heard the story when I was a kid, and I thought it was a really beautiful story, The Gift of the Magi. And it's based on this story, obviously, but it's about a couple who is having their first Christmas together. And they're a young couple, and they're poor. And they don't have anything to give the other, but they want to show their love to each other through this meaningful gift to show how much they loved each other. And so the woman in the couple had really long, beautiful hair that her husband loved. And so he wanted to be able to buy her these beautiful combs for her hair, but he didn't have the money. And so I can't remember what he had or got rid of, and he sold something of his in order to get her the combs for her hair, something that he really cherished of his own. So she wanted to get him a gift that was going to be meaningful for him, but she didn't have any money either to get him what he wanted. And it was something to do with the item that he sold to get her the combs. I feel like I'm mangling the story, but go read it. It's probably free online somewhere. So the way that she decided to get him the gift that she wanted to give him, because it would be so meaningful and really capture how much she loved him, she didn't have anything to sell but her hair. So she went and had all of her long hair cut off and sold it so she could buy him this gift. So that's the gift of the Magi. They each loved each other so much that they did something selfless for the other. And in return, like, it's illustrated by the story of generosity, right? She got the combs but had given up her hair to give him something. And he had given up something precious that she ended up giving him. I wish I could remember. So the reason that I like to do it this time of year is because that story always really moved me as a child. I thought it was a really beautiful story. And so is the story of the birth of Jesus, a beautiful story. And it brings to mind kind of the reasons that Mary and Joseph were even going on a donkey, right, to, where they ended up in the manger because of some governing policies in the land at the time that they supposedly had to go and register with the Romans, maybe, or something like that. So there was some government policy that made them in that vulnerable position where Jesus was born in a manger because there was no room at the inn, right? And so there's, this morning when I woke up, a really admired card reader that I follow on Blue Sky, Ms. Joyce Tarot, I love her work, there's a fake account on Blue Sky imitating her, and she had put out an announcement like, please, everybody block and report this account. They're an imitation of mine, which is a really common on YouTube everywhere. It's a super common theft of creative work, right? Trying to get your come up on somebody else's creative work. I have a side gig, and I'm going to refrain from naming the parties because it's not smart. But I have a side gig where I'm an owner in a brand, and I'm not pretending that I did the work to develop the brand. I came in late to the brand development, but it's because I believe in the people that are making the pisco, which is a Peruvian spirit. It's also a Chilean spirit, but ours, the brand that I'm an owner in, is Peruvian. And the maker and distiller is Peruvian, and this is her farm that she owns. She grows the grapes, and then she distills the wine into pisco, right? And so there's a brand that's trying to usurp ours, and they've done it in the past and lost a trademark lawsuit already in the past. And they're anyways, I should be careful here. I'm not gonna name names. I just feel like I'm giving them away by giving out this detail. So it's shady what they're doing. They're trying to steal the work of my co-owner's creative work, her Peruvian spirits that she distills and that are a part of her ancestry and her work and her lineage where she is. They're trying to steal the branding, which is genius, and the work of my other co-partners who have been building this diligently over years. We're a small group, right? We're not a big conglomerate wine and spirits company, right? And that whole industry is like any other. It's been taken over by large interests, and it's harder for small groups to get off the ground, and we're under attack by someone trying to steal our brand. So I'll just leave it there. I'm sure if my work gets blown up, someone's going to try to steal my work. I'm already realizing I need to protect my work because of that, because I know I do good work. I know I am a badass creatively. I know that there are people that will want my work. And so I've got to start thinking about what am I going to do to protect my work on the front end so that down the road I'm not having to scramble, right? And sometimes even then, you find yourself in somebody trying to count on the fact that you don't want a legal battle, so you'll just go away and let them have it. Well, fuck that, right? That's not going to happen. So this reading is going to be a collective reading about, like, are you going to, who in the world in terms of these power players are going to be gift of the Magi people, and who are going to be the thieves, right? Like, I'm not even trash talking the thieves that were on the cross next to Jesus, right? Whatever. I don't know their story. I don't know this brand story other than these people want to make money on stealing other people's creative ideas, and it's fucking parasitic, right? It's just parasitic. So what should we know about creativity and originality and, what are you going to be? Are you going to be somebody that covets other people's work and tries to steal it and come up on it? Or are you going to be an original? It's really wild to me. Like, I don't know. What should we know, Spirit, about this kind of energy that's so prevalent right now? It's the same with AI. I'm like, we're going to wipe ourselves off the map. Like, what are we doing? It's just insane. We created AI to make art, and now we're going to... I don't get it. It's just nuts. I don't even hate AI, but it's like people can't just... Ugh. It's just always going to be parasites, I guess. I don't know. What should we know? This looks kind of interesting. This might be sort of a mundane, although I don't know, we do have a major arcana here. So if this is the first time you've caught one of these readings, this is the Gift of the Magi layout. We've got the three kings here, the King of Cups, Wands, and Pentacles, who are the three seekers, following the Star of Bethlehem up here. And I like to use the Atelier deck as underneath to just lay out the imagery, because I think it's beautiful, of the three kings following the star. We are the King of Swords. We're the ones asking the question. This card represents, us and our inquiry. And then the Magus card is sort of like an overall theme or a major takeaway message. In the star position is what these kings are following. What is their guiding light? What are they following? So let's get into it. Let's see what's happening here. We are asking about our future and our fortune and what's to come. This is the Wheel of Fortune. So it might have something to do with projects and the material world. There are some mundane, a lot of mundane energies here. But the question is about something not mundane. It's about our fate and our destiny and our fortune and our good luck and going forward. That's what we want to know about. Where are we in the world with regard to our own, what we're building for ourselves and our future and our destiny with this Wheel of Fortune? This is going to be sort of, there's no ace cards. So this is the most powerful card in the deck, or I'm sorry, in the layout. And it's us. We're in a power position. We're in this Wheel of Fortune energy. And we're wondering what's to come, right? What's going on? What should we understand about our work and our creativity? Now we have the three kings here, and the King of Pentacles is in a Knight of Wands energy, which is interesting. He is normally a King of Pentacles is somebody that is a master creator of wealth and material security for himself and for his domain, right? The energy that he's coming to this question with is Knight of Wands. So very interesting that he might be a little bit lit up and in an energy that's out of character. So we might be a little bit in our material world, like ready to fight and go and do battle in some way. And it has to do with our Wheel of Fortune, our destiny. We're ready to fight for it, right? We're ready to fight for what's right. And as far as we're concerned, the King of Cups here is in a position of making a choice about what they're creating, right? So this is in the realm of the heart. In the realm of our heart, we're going back and forth a little bit, wondering what are we creating here? What are we creating? We're on fire to get it going. Something's got us lit up about our fortune and our destiny, and we're thinking it through also in terms of our emotions. What do we want ultimately for our own happiness and the happiness of those around us, our domain? We might be weighing out more than like two options might be in play for you right now. And then the King of Rods is in the energy of the Six of Cups. So he might be looking to the past and the things that we might be looking to the past and things that in our childhood made us happy. We might be revisiting our inner child's joys and their sorrows and trying to create from that place, which is a really pure place of creation before the world really disappoints you or beats you up or abuses you a little bit when you're a child and you have those dreams for yourself. And gazing on stars, like Jiminy Cricket just kind of came to mind, and wishing on a star from Pinocchio. So this is where we're at. We're making choices about what kind of happiness do we want to create. We're looking to the past in order to think back on what made us truly happy as children. And we're on fire to go for it. We're not necessarily in the most disciplined energy right now. That's important to know in terms of the material realm. The card that's in the star position is the Eight of Cups, I believe. No, it's the Seven of Cups. So we don't want to be misled. And this is a time where there might be some illusion present, and we're being asked to pay attention to that. These, as kings and in our masculine element within, we're in a little bit of a vulnerable place. We're looking back to our childhood. We're making choices that have to do with our happiness and our heart's desires, and we're kind of on fire for it. A Knight of Wands is not very disciplined. So in my mind, that is the first warning that shows up with this King of Pentacles. This is the kind of energy that, like me, I was about to shoot my mouth off too much on this video and name names and start being like, heads are in a roll, which is stupid. It's not a smart move right now while we're in the middle of hammering this all out legally in the court system in the US. It's not something that we want to rock the boat on, right? So I pushed it right to the edge. That's this kind of energy. I dialed it back right away. I caught myself like I'm starting to divulge too much. So that's in play. That's what this is capturing for us, is like we need to be really careful here about illusion or trusting the wrong people or listening to the wrong voice of reason or guidance, right? A Seven of Cups can create an illusion around following the wrong desires or following, like worshiping money, right? Or worshiping power versus operating from the heart, for example, right? That's what we're vulnerable to because maybe our ego's been bruised a little bit, or because this is such a passion project for us or passion endeavor for us that it's hard to think clearly at times. It is our destiny, though, and it's safe. That's what this Wheel of Fortune card leads me to believe also, that in our wise mind, we know that our fortune and our destiny is safe. But shit going down, like what happened with Ms. Joyce Tarot, what's happening with our brand, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, it's just, we need to kind of cool our jets a little bit, I'm picking up. Interesting. I love it. The key to this whole layout, boom, is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is the very beginning of the reading. We're the asker. What is happening? What is the ultimate message of this layout? We have the power. We are the ones in power with this beautiful creative fire and energy. Do not let the sort of weird thefts and illusions of the mundane world get in the way. We are power. That's coming through again. This has been coming through a lot. For rest in peace, John Trudell, we are power. Go listen to that lecture. For me, it gets a little bit long, but it's recorded. It's on YouTube. And I mean, he's just saying we are power, not them. Like that's why they're having to be shielded by badass military drone bullshit and armed militarized police. That's why they had the balls to call somebody a terrorist who, I don't think that guy's terrorizing the public. I'm not saying I'm endorsing committing murder, but I am saying he's not a terrorist, okay? By the definition of terrorism, he's a terrorist to billionaires. Of course they want him called a terrorist, and they have the money to get that kind of shit to happen, right? So this is what we're talking about. What's some advice for us? Don't fall into the illusion that someone who likely has medical PTSD is the terrorist. They're the victim, okay? They took some law into their own hands, and however you feel about that is however you feel about it. I'm not going to lose my license. I don't condone murder, but, you know, it is what it is, you know? A lot of this all runs together. Co-opting people's work. I guarantee you Donald Trump is going to try to act like he's in alignment with that guy, all the while taking billions in donations from drug companies, from insurance providers, and then not doing jack shit about it. But he's going to try to act like he thinks that guy's a hero. I think that's what's going to go down. But don't be fooled, right? God. The illusion is the illusion. Like, it gets frustrating when you can see it, and it's like so many people around you want to keep going the shortcut way, stealing ideas, coming up on you and your hard work and your energy, then belittling your hard work and your energy, right? God, it's just nuts. What's some advice? Some advice. Between worlds. So we're between worlds right now. This is not a time to be cocky. That's what it's saying. Recognizing when you're between worlds, it's a time that you're a little vulnerable while you're coming out of your chrysalis phase. Your wings might still be wet and drying. It's not a time to go mouthing off to the wrong bird that's going to scoop you up and eat you before you even can get off the ground, right? So this is not a time to be doing that, and I need to take note because I was about to, because I'm pissed, right? I don't like that this huge backed company is like trying to fuck with the little guy. We're the little guy. The people that I own the brand with worked their asses off over the last like 15 years just about. I don't know if it's quite that long, but and now some big company is going to come in with all this backing and like steal all of it. Ka-ching. Sorry, no, you're not going to. Community. What is the message of this card in terms of advice? It's It's number 8. You're discovering the essential qualities that you share with another, and perhaps also those you don't share, right? There are times when you follow and the other person leads, and times when you lead and the other follows. The appearance of this card points to an importance of learning the proper dance between you and another. Accepting the truth that everyone has flaws is part of that dance. Yet you are also being asked to be aware of the dynamic that you don't want to repeat. You're in the perfect place to make changes in order to experience the best version of who you can be. So that's good news. That is really good news. Don't get caught up in these little traps of ego. That's what was happening to me before I got a grip. It offends my ego, and it offends a healthy ego that is creating from a healthy place to have someone in an unhealthy ego come in and try to jack your work, you know? God. Some other advice for us. Lay low, don't be shooting your mouth off, right? Sometimes I get annoyed because honestly, like, I don't own, just as a clinician and as someone who went to grad school, like, I don't own wholeness and wellness knowledge. I'm not somebody that believes in the ownership of knowledge. But that said, I worked my ass off to get my degree and to get the credentials that allow me the authority to diagnose, to guide people to some degree within my discipline and training that I'm trained in. And I sometimes get frustrated. I watch about anywhere between 5 and 10 card readers on YouTube who I really like. And there's a couple of them that don't do this, but the other ones do. And I'm not accusing them of anything. But because they are grounded and interested in healing, they give a lot of healing advice. And I start getting annoyed at some point because it's like, I don't need your personal healing advice. I just would like a card reading. And so then I kind of try to watch out for that too, even though I do have some authority to give healing advice, but I'm not on some high horse thinking I'm all that. Like, I'm not an MD, I'm an LCSW. I specialize in what I specialize in. Does that mean I'm a specialist in all things psychiatric and mental health? Absolutely not. And anyone that's verging into like coaching you or guiding you, they don't know any better than anyone else, right? Unless they've got some type of evidence that they've done some work to know what they're talking about. Not just listen to a bunch of clips and decided now you're going to go out there and save other people's souls. Like, have some humility. What's some good advice? Be still. This is a spiritual thing that we're going through. And hello, it's a gift of the Magi layout. So this is a spiritual lesson. We're being put to the test almost, in a way, people that are catching this and that are vibing with it. Like, yeah, why are people trying to steal my ideas or whatever, right? Like, it's a test. We're being shown like how to discipline ourselves at a time like that, right? Going within, listening to the still small voice within can be your good guidance around stuff like this. You don't want to fall into the trap of tit for tat like I was about to do by shooting my mouth off, right? And the sun, that's the guide, that's the guiding light. The sun is a star. As long as you stay disciplined and go within and follow your prayerful or meditative practice of ethics and discipline and wanting to come from a right place of integrity, boom, it's going to come for you. Even if someone steals your idea, you're a creative genius. You'll come up with more. You'll be already, it's like, that's what I started. When I started getting paranoid about somebody that I suspected might be trying to steal my work or come up on me and what I'm doing, I was like, dude, stop worrying about it, because you will just create something different. If someone sneaks in and steals all your work before you can get it protected or whatever, then you'll just do something even better. No one's going to be able to keep up with the kind of work you're doing because you're in your lane, in your own lane, doing your own work, trying to stay humble, right? So I hope this is helpful and confirmation for you. I'm going to pull one more card, actually. An animal spirit. What's a good animal spirit that can help us to emulate this kind of low-key energy? And holding tight. It's not our time to roar right now. It's our time to recognize the vulnerable position that we're in and be low key. And this could be a vulnerable position for a number of reasons. It could be astrologically it's not a good time because of some kind of retrograde. It could be it's not a good time because energetically you're in a little bit on one and not in the best frame of mind. There could be a lot of reasons, right? Why this is saying hold tight, don't be doing anything bold right now. Oh my God, I love it. The elephant. Who's gonna fuck with an elephant, right? But they can be deceptively enticing in a way because we get to watch what loving matriarchs they are, right? But yeah, let me just read this. The elephant. Nobility, impressiveness, bonding, self-empowerment, strength, wisdom, recollection, reminiscence, magnificence. That's all you have to do is sit in your magnificence while you transition into the next world and into your next life where you're transcending illusion and you're standing in your own power and you're creating your own destiny. That's a noble, regal, royal destiny, right? It's a king. I love this reading. I love it. It gave me what I needed for sure, which was like, I was pissed. I wasn't planning to do a reading from that place, but I just got some weird news like right before I sat down and I was all, like, fuck that, but, this is messed up, and I'm going to put it on blast, and I know better than to, I caught myself right away and was like, calm down, you need to be a strategist, not a reactor, but it's still, as you saw, even when I was sitting down, I was wanting to kind of lose it. So thank you. And speaking of original work, this is Frank Duffy's deck. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've been really loving working with it. So thank you, and I'll see you next time. Much love and Merry Christmas if you celebrate. I might be back with a reading before then, but